You're listening to Strange by Nature, your guide to the strange, weird, unbelievable, and improbable wonders of the natural world.
Hello, everyone, and thanks for being here today. I'm Kirk Mona, and joining me are Rachel Gimza and Victoria Thompson. We're all naturalists who together have scoured the world for weird and wonderful wonders, just to please your mammalian brain's desire for novelty. Isn't that nice? Let's do this. Hey, everybody, welcome to the show. Oh, so good to be here. We are
good to be with
having
you. It's so good.
A good time. So last week's show, I talked about the king oyster mushrooms, right? And I hinted at the end
Yes, you did.
that I had learned a strange fact about them that I wanted to share. And let me tell you, it's wild. So I mentioned that fungi are separate from both plants and animals, and that they have things in common with both. Well, when I read about this interesting behavior that these king oyster mushrooms have, let me just say, wow. I had absolutely no idea that fungi could do this. And this is not king oyster mushrooms.
So when you say behavior,
why? Yeah. I don't like the I don't like the
That seems
along
like
behavior.
a strange thing to say, right?
Yeah, especially with something we don't. Okay, that's fine.
go ahead. Scare
And it
us.
very much sounds like something that an animal would do more than a plant. I'm just going to
We know
come right
it's
out with it.
neither.
Here it is. Fungi can actively trap and eat animals.
What?
What?
Huh? What?
No, thank you.
No,
Yes.
no. What? What do you mean?
Did you know this?
Wait, what do you mean they can do what? What? No.
So
Oh no.
what this comes down to is that there's a whole group of fungi called NTFs, or nematode trapping fungi.
Oh my gosh.
So this is wild. We usually teach, and I initially learned when I was learning about fungi, that they are saprophytic or saprotrophs, meaning they get their nutrition from the breaking down of organic matter. And if you want to get really fancy, you can say that they take part in chemoheterotrophic extracellular digestion. That's a mouthful, so we're not going to say that.
Yeah.
Basically, they get their nutrition by breaking down rotting organic stuff like wood.
Yeah. Right.
Uh-huh.
So in my mind, that's just what
They're
fungi do.
decomposers. Yeah.
They're decomposers, yes. Well, it turns out
Nature
there's
laughs
another
at our
way to
boxes.
survive.
So
There's
this
another way
is
to
like the
survive.
Venus flytrap of fungi.
Kind of, yeah. And
Horrifying.
there's another way to get your nutritional needs. You can trap and eat animals. Now, don't go thinking they're
Nightmares.
like eating squirrels or something. The animals in this case
Holy
are very
did
small.
think about that they were just
Very small.
wholly eating like
they
frogs
are-
and squirrels.
Yeah, no. These are nematodes. And we don't think about nematodes on a day-to-day basis. But nematodes are one of the most, if not the most, abundant animals on the entire earth. Nematodes are all over the place. They are tiny and they live in the soil. So we mostly ignore them. That is unless you work with plants and nematodes are feeding on your plants. Say you're a farmer, in which case nematodes can be quite annoying or even very expensive. So not surprisingly, though, when you have one of the most abundant animals on Earth, it is going to be a food source for something. And nematodes get eaten by a lot of things. Nematodes are eaten by other nematodes, but also by small arthropods, and relevant to us here today, apparently by fungus, which just breaks my brain.
Sure,
So,
why not?
Apparently, some fungus survive by trapping and digesting nematodes. These fungi produce trapping devices to capture, kill, and digest nematodes as food sources, and these fungus are thus considered to be predaceous.
Oh my gosh.
Again, breaks my little mind.
Okay.
Killer
Predaceous
mushrooms.
fungi? Like what?
Oh my.
I don't think I've ever thought of
just-
fungus as being a predator.
No, like we've talked about zombie fungus and like
Yeah.
cordyceps kind of thing, but
So yeah, I guess it shouldn't be surprised that fungus are really strange, right?
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
they're amazing, and they're very, 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 very old. They've had lots of time to find ways to live here on Earth. Specifically looking at the king oyster mushroom I talked about last week, it can actually live both saprophytically on decaying organic matter and also as a predator by capturing nematodes.
Oh.
But I believe there are some fungus that can only do one or the other, right?
okay.
So, scientists believe fungal carnivorism as a trait or ability diverged from strict saprophytism about 419 million years ago, sometime
Older
after the
than
origin.
trees.
Yeah.
Great.
So this
Older
was
than sharks.
after, yeah. But this would be after the origin of nematodes. So nematodes came about, we believe, about somewhere between 550 and 600 million years ago. So it took over 100 million years for fungus to like figure this out and evolve to use this new food source. But
Like,
boy,
ooh,
did
tasty.
they ever figure it out. Today, we know there are over 700 species of nematode-eating fungi. And there's probably more that we don't know about, right?
700?
Yeah. That's how many we know about.
Oh no.
Wow.
And you're just learning about it the first time here. It's a big world. That's what this podcast is, I think, teaches us. There's actually a couple methods they can use to do this. Some catch their prey with what are essentially glue traps. Victoria talked about frog glue a few weeks back.
Yeah.
And apparently fungi can make glue as well, and then they use it to basically trap their prey. Some fungi essentially use a snare. They have what are described as rings that if the nematode passes through it can constrict on contact, very much like sort of, you mentioned the Venus flytrap, similar sort of thing, responding
That
to
feels
stimulus.
almost like tool use. It's
Yeah,
not,
and constricting
but
around them. I mean, but see, here's the thing. It wouldn't qualify as tool use because it's part of their essentially
body.
Their body.
but like
yeah.
it is one step behind tool use.
Yeah, it's pretty
okay.
wild.
Okay.
There's some fungi that use both of these techniques, which is interesting. There's actually a third trapping technique as well. Some
course.
fungi use toxins to stun the nematodes
Oh.
as they pass by.
okay.
So that's just wild.
Because then you have to
in
sense
all-
that it's a nematode going by and be like, yes. Because they're famously not fast movers. How do you like,
Rachel, yeah, you're on the right track here. We're getting to that.
oh no.
Is this like a stinging mushroom?
Hold that thought for a minute. No, not quite. But I mean, it's kind of similar to that in a sense. You know, that if you can create a toxin that's going to like basically, paralyze and stun this nematode, then which is the function of like a venom. So similar kind of function actually. But
Okay.
in all of these cases, once the nematode is trapped, the fungal hyphae, which remember are sort of like kind of like roots, but not, can actually pierce its body and then devour it.
Whew. Well then.
Oh, yeah. So that's all pretty wild, but it goes even further.
What?
Because fungus goes after nematodes in so many ways. Just catching the adults when they wander by isn't enough. And Rachel, here's where we're getting to kind of what you were wondering about. There are other ways to get what you need. And there are some fungus that actually will live inside nematodes, essentially infecting them from the inside and living as a parasite.
What?
Some of these parasitic fungi attack adults, but in some cases they'll send out hyphae in search of nematode eggs to then infect the eggs. There's even some that attack female adult nematodes and pierce their bodies in order to get to the eggs in their bodies and infect the eggs. I mean, it's wild.
Wow.
But wait, there's more. There's more.
God.
And this is actually the part that Rachel, I think, kind of gets at what you were talking about a little bit. A study from 2017 showed that some fungus take active steps to lure prey to it by producing olfactory cues that mimic those used by the essentially the worm or the nematode worm to find and attract mates. So basically they're hijacking the pheromones and the smells that the nematodes use, and they're using that against them. They're using like pheromones to attract their prey in.
Amazing.
And then devour them.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, the nematodes think they're heading toward food or a mate and a hot date.
They are
and
not.
end up being devoured by fungus. It's a horrible and
horrifying.
cunning trap. I don't know if you can call a fungus cunning, but I think we can.
We can, I think, at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just at the Minnesota State Fair, and there was all kinds of good smells luring me to different vendors.
Yeah.
Including, I will say, a delicious deep-fried cookie dough pie with a side of ice
You
cream.
ate that.
That I ate. Imagine my horror if I showed up to the amazing-smelling booth only to be devoured by fungus. No, thank you.
You know what? I didn't really want to think about that happening, but now it's all I'm going to think about for a little while.
At least I hope there was no fungus growing in that food booth. Guess you never know. This is basically an all-out war between fungus and nematodes that has been going on for hundreds of millions of years. And it starts to sound like something out of a sci-fi movie. And I think
For
it's
real.
really just amazing that there's this whole world of predators and prey, traps and toxins, lures, all going on in the soil. And we as humans are mostly just oblivious to what is going on right underneath our toes. But that, friends, is what I have for you this week.
Horrifying. Thank you.
Horrifying and amazing.
Sources for you.
Like, truly great, but why?
Kudos.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a really fun one. When I heard about this, I was just like, oh my gosh. Gotta learn more, gotta talk about it. Learn some basic background stuff from Wikipedia. Also, there's the book Nematode Trapping Fungi by Qi Qin Zhang and Kevin D. Hyde. And then the 2017 study I referenced was, get ready for this, a nematophagous fungus Erythrobotrytis oligiospora mimics the olfactory cues of sex and food to lure its nematode prey. That was the title. That was in the January 2017 edition of eLife. I'm sure you're all running out to grab it right now. It is not open source though, so wah wah. A little bit harder one to read. But that's what I have this week. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll see what Rachel has for you.
Well, okay. I'm not sure how to follow that up, Kirk, but I'm sure gonna try. Okay.
All right.
I don't think I'm really gonna succeed, but we're gonna try. So I am once again bringing you all a creature feature, and you'll never guess where I'm at this time. That's
Is it
right.
The Land of
The
Oz.
ocean.
The ocean.
Okay.
There it
Well,
is.
mine was a good guess too.
It was a good guess, actually. I'm always in Oz, just a little bit. So today we're going to head out to the west coast of the North America. Weird way to say that, but sure.
The North America.
The
I
North
wasn't gonna say
America. Okay.
Not the other one.
This particular creature spans from Alaska all the way down California and through the more northern part of Mexico, kind of like Baja kind of space. Okay. There is another species, so there are two species. I'm mostly going to be talking about the northern species, but the southern species is found more on islands like Marquarrie Island, New Zealand, Tasmania, even South Africa, and also in Argentina. So it really spans the Pacific. The northern species that we're going to talk about is Mirogunia, Gouda.
Ooh, Gouda?
Gouda is really good. Okay. I
love
did
Gouda.
practice
Or
this.
Gouda.
That's really frustrating. Mirongia. Marunga. There we go. Marunga.
Okay.
It's been a little while since you've gotten to Rachel not really doing well on the Latin. Angosterostrus. That's the part that I actually practiced really hard and then I didn't think about it. Today we are talking about the northern elephant seal. Which we haven't talked about on the show.
No, we haven't.
So the elephant seal, they are the largest of the true seals. There are different families of seals where they get divided. So there is such a thing as not a true seal. So there are sea lions, and then there are other species that like harbor seals and such. So true seal means that they have no external ear. So they don't have any flaps or holes or anything for you to see. Okay. Which is very much something you can find on like sea lions, which are their own family. They also have reduced limbs. So they don't have, like, their pelvis is pretty reduced and, like, their back flipper is, like, all of that is reduced into just the back flipper. So they have less bones.
Okay.
Than some non-true seals. Most of elephant seal's life is spent in the water, anywhere from 80 to 90% of it, which makes sense because on land, true seals especially, they cannot move well. It's almost hysterical how they move on land. Because they're so streamlined and evolved to be in the water and being able to take sharp turns and such, that being able to walk on land is not great. They have been shown, however, that they can hold their breath for more than 100 minutes at a time. Most of the time they're going anywhere. They're like diving deep and only doing short breaks for air at like 20 to 30 minutes. So they can hold their breath, but they don't. I mean, humans can hold their breath up to 3 minutes or whatever. Some people longer, but you're not going to if you don't have to, right?
Sure.
They've also been documented going up to 100 kilometers or 60 miles in a day to try to find and search for food. And that is from like a base of sorts. They generally are diving pretty deep as well. They're diving up to 2,500 feet for their food, which is pretty deep for most oceans.
That's
quite deep.
Yeah.
That's no joke in the ocean. That is deep.
Yeah, so they are really not seen out in the ocean for very, very much at all. So you don't see them out while they're out at sea. They're most often seen when they are on a sandy beach. But that makes sense because they're diving down to eat squid and fish. And trying their hand at eating sharks and some rays if they can catch them. They're pretty good. Yeah. So wild. They do live up to their name. Males.
God, they're goofy looking.
They're so goofy looking. So
yeah, they are.
Elephant seals do live up to their name. Again, it's something that we saw them and they reminded us of something else. They are actually not very closely related to elephants in any way, shape, or form. However, we use the same terminology of bull and cow when it comes to male and female. Males, depending on the species, they can weigh up to 10 times the size of females. This is one of the rare forms of when a male is larger than female in nature. Males can be anywhere from 14 to 16 feet long.
That's so large. Oh my gosh.
Every time I hear a fact like that about them, even though I've heard that before, I go, no, that can't be right. Like, they're not that.
Yeah, that's
like,
three
if you
Rachels.
ask me how big are they, I'd be like, oh, they're like 8 feet long, 10 feet long, maybe. Like, yeah.
No, they're 3 Rachels. In science,
oh my gosh.
That's 4.3 to 4.8 meters. And the males can reach up to 5,500 pounds.
How many Rachels
enormous.
is that?
Oh, that's so many Rachels.
Like, need to tell us
so many Rachels. That's 2,500 kilograms, Females, conversely, not to say that this is small, they reach about 10 feet or 3 meters in length, which is still pretty long.
That is.
And they weigh up to 1,300 pounds. They have found them going up to 2,000, but like depends, right? Which is about 900 kilograms. So that's their weight. That's their size. Both females and males, they are like a gray, and then they turn like a light dark brown or silver when they are older. And they have this really big, like thick neck with a callous skin. And then, amazingly, males especially, when they reach puberty at about 7, they actually develop a large inflatable proboscis nose, which overhangs
So
their
weird.
lip by about 8 inches. It looks a lot like an elephant's trunk. It is not. Females actually maintain and keep smaller noses, so they have a little bit of a proboscis, but they don't have much of one. Males, it overhangs their lower lip from up to 8 inches, which is pretty wild.
Seems like it would get in the way of, like eating.
Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It actually has been shown it can help them a little bit because they are able to use the nose as kind of like a storage of oxygen of sorts. So they actually can hold their breath a
Really?
little bit longer, because there has to be a reason why you would have a nose like that, right? Like
I always sort of assumed it was something to do with mating.
it does have to
it may
do
just be
a
really
little
sexy
bit.
looking.
It does have to do with mating. That is definitely part of it. Ironically, the northern species of elephant seals actually have longer and larger proboscises versus the southern elephant seals, which actually get, Kirk, you're going to hate this. They typically get bigger than the northern seals. Like some really large males in the southern elephant seals actually can get up to 20 feet and 9,000 pounds.
9,000 pounds?
Yeah, so southern elephant seals are no joke, but their proboscis is a little bit smaller.
Okay, they don't carry their weight in their snout there.
No, they do not. Yeah. So that proboscis actually, it is a secondary sexual characteristic, but how they kind of use it also as like a rebreather, is what I saw. So it's filled with like cavities, so it allows them to reabsorb any like moisture and stuff from them breathing out. But we want to know, come on, why do they have that? So what do they use it for?
Yeah.
They mostly use it to produce loud noises to attract females.
See, I told you
Okay.
it's for
There you
mating.
go.
It is mostly for mating. Okay, so
It's a little lower than that.
it's lower and much louder.
It's sort of growly, isn't it?
It can be, yeah. So I'm going to, I don't know if it'll play.
You play it for us?
I'm going to try to play it.
Oh my gosh.
All right. This is their sound.
That is so weird.
Isn't it?
Sort of bird-like.
Yeah, just kind
Can
of a
we-
little bit. They're pretty wild. Now, the thing is that that's a wild sound, but generally,
Yeah.
why would you do that, right? So the female, it all has to do with breeding, right? Male elephant seals will actually like fight and vocalize with each other and try to figure out who has they'll fight with each other, trying to alter their postures, and they'll ram into each other, which when you are 9,000 pounds, that's no joke, right? When you are
right.
ramming into each other, hence why they have such thickened necks. They also have a chest shield, so they have a thickened skin in their chest area that actually also helps protect their chest and helps them ram into others. Males will get there first, and they actually are trying to find and create their own territory, and their whole idea is try to get as many females as possible because they want to create their own little harem. And they want to mate with as many females as they possibly can, right?
As you do, I guess.
Right. Absolutely wild. So they will fight with each other, and they will make as loud of a vocalization. And if their vocalization is loud enough, some males will even back away, just being like, you're bigger than me, I'm going to back off. They actually even have they'll have beta bulls, lesser males who will surround and help keep the territory, and then take the opportunity to mate with certain females when he's not looking, which is pretty typical. And then
sounds about right.
Last thing, So the last thing that I wanted to say was their sound that they make when they are making those noises, right? It's actually pretty loud. Northern elephant seals, with their larger proboscis, they can produce calls that are up to 131 decibels.
Wow. That is loud.
That's extremely loud.
Yeah.
Ear-shatteringly loud.
It really is. They are one of the loudest animals, if not the loudest animal on the planet. I know we've talked about some very, very loud animals on this podcast, but elephant seals are one of those really loud animals. So 131 decibels, just for context, 131 decibels is pretty much when pain starts to happen in our ears. It's the same level of noise as a jet taking off, or a jackhammer, or an ambulance siren. So that's loud.
Ambulance siren's a loud one, yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty loud. So that's elephant seals. They're wild, and they're very goofy looking, and they're just a lot of fun. That's what I have for y'all this week. My sources this week, I had I had elephant seals, as well as National Geographic. I said elephant seals. So elephantseal.org. So Friends of the Elephant Seal, the Marine Mammal Center, as well as the California parks. So the state and national parks, and NOAA and Wikipedia once more.
Fantastic, thanks.
We're going to take a quick break, and when we return, it'll be Victoria.
Hey, we're back. So, Kirk and Rachel, I'm going to start off with a picture this week. I just sent you something. I want you to take a look at it. It's a very, very pretty stock image.
Oh. That's... Okay, that's really pretty. Why are you sending us picture of jewelry?
This is seed art, or seed jewelry.
Yes. What stands out the most to you in these seed jewelry?
The bright red and black.
The bright red.
The bright red and black ones. Yes. Those are what I'm talking about today.
Those
They,
seeds?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, those seeds. They're from a plant called the rosary pea. That's one of its names, also known as the chiquirity
Okay.
bean, and many, many, many other common names. The Latin name is Abrus precatorius. It's native to Australia, South and Southeast Asia, and Sub-Saharan Africa. So very wide native range, but it's also been introduced to other tropical and subtropical areas worldwide, and in fact has become a rather aggressive invasive species in many places.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
As the name suggests, it's a member of the bean or pea family. It is a climbing shrub with pretty purplish pink flowers, and of course it is mainly known for these beautiful seeds. The most
They're
common
bright
kind.
red.
They are so bright red. They have a black spot on them. That's the most common kind, but they also can come in other colors, including white, pure black, cream. I've heard green. I didn't see any pictures of green ones, but it's also kind of got a hard and shiny outer coating, so it makes it, that's another feature that makes it nice for jewelry.
Okay.
In addition to being used for jewelry, or as the name would indicate, rosaries, it has been
Right.
used for several other things as well. So I thought this was really fascinating. The seeds have a very consistent weight, and their hard
that's
shell, their hard shell means that they don't absorb humidity from the air. So they're very consistent in size and weight.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So this led to them being used as the base of the traditional weight measuring system in India, and
Yeah.
possibly some
Okay.
other places
Cool.
as well, but there was most information about the Indian system. So this was used for measuring coinage, and in fact is still used by jewelers in India and the subcontinent. So one seed was called a rati, and 8 rati equaled a masha, which was like the sort of base unit. And then 12 mashas would be a tola, which was about 11.7 grams. So, yeah, kind of fascinating.
Yeah, that's wild. Okay.
And, there were various other uses as well, but you might be wondering why I'm talking about this seed.
Yeah, why are you talking other than
Sure,
the
yeah.
fact that it's like bright red
Yeah.
and like has
That's
color-
cool. That's cool.
It's cool. It has really fun like cultural roots, I suppose.
Uh-huh. It is incredibly toxic. So
Oh,
poisonous.
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh no. Oh, we should have connected that with the fact that it's bright red. Oh no. Does it seep through the body?
Well, it can poison you a number of different ways. First, I want to talk about the poison a little bit. Have you heard of ricin?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
no.
So ricin is made, it's a very toxic substance. It's made from castor beans, and it
Yeah, it's not
was
great.
used in like a mass poisoning in Japan. I think in the 1990s, it was
Yeah.
like it made the news. It's very big. Well, the stuff in rosary peas is called abrin, and it's just like ricin, only more poisonous.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay. Okay. That's fine.
Not great.
Great. Love it. Love it.
Yes.
Yay.
So
love finding
Abrin-
worse things.
It has this fun little structure where it's a protein, but it's made of two sort of protein subunits that are stuck together, and they work with a 1-2 punch. So we call them.
You say fun structure in the way of like, this is gonna be bad for all of us.
Yes,
Yeah, fun as in awful. And
fun isn't awful. So
Okay.
there's unit A and there's unit B. Unit B, protein B, fits beautifully with a number of existing transport proteins in cell membranes. And that means that the cells just welcome the whole thing inside. They're like, oh, we recognize you. Come on in.
Oh, hey,
And then-
this is so nice. Hi.
Yes. Then protein A goes to work, and it just stops ribosomes from working. Which, if you know what a ribosome is, that's really
no.
bad. Ribosomes are the things inside of every cell that create proteins, and proteins are what everything is made of in organisms. So basically, the cell ceases to function. Yeah, so ricin works in the same way, but sources vary. I did find a helpful data sheet from a U.S. government organization I had never heard of before called the U.S. National Response Team.
Okay.
And according to this, it was comparing ricin and abrin very helpfully. The lethal dose for ingesting ricin is between 1 to 20 milligrams per kilogram of body weight.
Oh, no.
For abrin, the lethal dose is 0.1 to 1 micrograms per kilogram of body weight. So that's 1 or 2 orders of magnitude
that is
more
so much
deadly.
It's really
worse.
potent, you're saying.
Yes.
You lick it and you're dead. God.
Chewing and swallowing a single rosary pea is likely fatal. The dose for castor beans
it did
is
not
about
look big.
8. Yeah. However, because they do have such a hard seed coating, if you swallow one whole and you don't chew it up, it's not likely to harm you too much.
Oh, too much. So it might harm you a little.
Oh my God.
Sure.
This is wild.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
can buy these as jewelry.
You sure can. And
God.
strangely, or perhaps not so strangely, knowing how humans are, this plant has had traditional medicinal uses, including in traditional Chinese medicine and in Ayurvedic medicine. And I'm sure other places that it grew, but of course, there's more information available about Chinese and Indian medicine. So the leaves and the roots of the plant were also used. I haven't found any information saying that the leaves and the roots are particularly toxic, but the ground seeds were also sometimes used in different ways. It was hard to get a lot of, reliable or detailed information about this. It seems like often it was maybe applied externally.
I would hope so.
I'll pass either way.
However, you can still kill yourself by getting this stuff injected, which we will talk a little bit more about later. And in fact, there are unconfirmed stories about, artisans who make jewelry out of these, accidentally pricking themselves with the needle that they've been using to poke holes through it and dying.
Oh my God.
Unconfirmed, but
Oh,
yes.
no. Oh, no.
Pass.
Yep. Mm-mm.
And not too
Hard
surprisingly, the seed has also been used in deliberately harmful ways.
Really?
Shockingly. According to one Chinese source I saw, it was commonly used for suicides. And the most interesting use I read about was by the Chamar caste of India. So this caste was traditionally leather workers. Now, if you know anything about Hinduism, you probably know that cows are sacred in Hinduism. And
Yeah.
in fact, they're so sacred that many states in India have laws against cattle slaughter. And actually, I think the president recently tried to, the ruling party recently tried to pass a nationwide ban on cattle slaughter, although I think it got caught up in the courts. But obviously, cows still die of natural and traumatic causes, like getting hit by cars, which happens pretty frequently in India.
I could not imagine hitting a cow with my car.
Yeah, the roads there are wild. It's I've been twice, and it's something else. But the cow dies, and then something has to be done with the body. So dealing with the hides and turning them to leather, working the leather, was a traditional occupation of this caste. And there's a whole thing about, how that's considered polluting in Hinduism and all this stuff. But in any case, according to some 19th century sources that I saw, some folks from this Chamar caste would sometimes use rosary peas to help along the death of cattle so that they could get more skins to process.
That's where I thought that was going.
Yes. So there were a couple of methods mentioned, but this one that I'm going to tell you about was actually tested in front of this Western observer and shown to be effective. So they would grind up the seeds into a paste, and then they would form the paste into a sharp cone that was then hardened and sharpened even more and attached to a wooden handle. And then they would surreptitiously break off the sharp tip of the cone into the skin of the cow, often like in a place where it wouldn't be noticed, like behind the horn, where the horn attaches to the head, or like inside the mouth. And then they would kind of cover the flap of skin back over it so no puncture wound would be obvious. And then the cow, over the course of a day or so, would fall sick and die, apparently from natural causes. And presto, you got a new hide to work with.
Wow.
But, I saw this, and it's just so wild to me that this incredibly toxic seed is just being casually used for jewelry that people are wearing all over the place. And actually,
this is fine.
Yeah, there was this recall. There was at some one of those, there's like chains of stores that sell handicrafts from different places in the world, kind of fair trade type of stuff. One of those type of stores in the UK had to do a big recall a few years ago because they realized that these bracelets that they were selling were full of toxic seeds, and that
yay!
They were a little worried about some liability, I think.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Understandable.
That's what I got. Rosary pea, beautiful but deadly.
Wow.
God.
Very wild.
It was very pretty. Like, it was like candy apple red.
Yeah. I mean, you can absolutely see why you would use them for jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
My sources this week, I did have a little bit of background information for Wikipedia. Then there was some helpful information from the Kew Gardens in the UK about the distribution of the plant.
They've got a whole garden of poisonous plants.
The new U.S. National Response Team had that information about the two poisons. And then some information about the traditional Indian uses came from an article in Eggman Research from April of 2024. Various media used to detoxify Abrus precatorius, a mini review. So they talked about, like, if you boil it in milk, it kind of gets rid of some of the toxins and so forth.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really cool, but I'm still not going to be anywhere near it.
Nope.
And don't drink the milk.
Right.
Oh my God.
That goes without saying, perhaps.
Well, apparently heat can somewhat denature it. I saw some mentions in a couple places that people used to eat these after they were processed. I'm like, what?
No.
Crazy.
No.
Why would you risk it? Don't risk it for that biscuit. Don't do it.
Desperation.
Well, that too. Yep. Wow.
Yeah. That is what I have for you this week, and that wraps up our show.
Dang,
All right.
Victoria. Dang.
Cheerful. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone, for listening to today's show. Be sure to subscribe. New episodes drop every Wednesday, and we love sharing this strange world with all our listeners. If you would be so kind as to leave us a 5-star rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, that would be great. It lets other lovers of the strange discover the show. You can reach us by searching for Strange by Nature Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and Blue Sky. You can send us an email as well. Our address is contact@strangebynaturepodcast.com. If you want more information about the show, you can check out our website, strangebynaturepodcast.com, and you can support the show